Good afternoon, everybody. It is, let's see, make sure my phone is secure. There we go. It is 3:59 on Friday, January 24th. I tell you, I'm losing track of each day. Welcome. About a minute to go before I will get started. So if you're catching me at the very beginning, go ahead and fast forward about a minute or so. And then I will be able to, you'll be able to find, I'm sorry, I'm really lost today. It was I didn't get much sleep last night. It's been a long week. But anyway, welcome. It is 4 o'clock on the dot on Friday, January 24th. And this is Fun Friday with Stampin' with Jen. And today we're going to be playing with the Toadstool Gardens DSP from Celebration Catalog. It is on, let's see, which page is it on? Let's find it. It is one of the items, here it is right here. It's on page 8, and it actually coordinates with the terrific Toadstools bundle, which is in our January to April mini catalog. And you know what? I'll pull that out and I'll show you what that looks like so you can see what that looks like. Let's see, page 53 of the January catalog. And it coordinates with this bundle right here. This bundle here, it's a stamp set and a punch. And these are some of the things you can do with those. And so this paper coordinates with it. And you know, what's funny is I'm not a mushroom person, because let's face it, that's what toadstools are. They're mushrooms, but toadstool's a cute way of saying it. I am not a mushroom person, and I saw my friend Patty use this, and I saw a couple other people use. I went, you know what? Can't hurt. I get it for free with a purchase of $60 or more, so before taxes and shipping. So why not? And I got it, and I love it. I love the colors. I love how bright and fun it is. And this is these are the cards we made. I call them sort of a stack and shuffle. Usually stack and shuffle is like this would be like 4 pieces of paper and everything, but we're doing it with just 2 pieces, and I'm just flipping a couple of them over. But it's like a stack and shuffle because it's the same size all around, so you can make just a couple of cuts. Let me show you what this toadstool paper looks like in person. It is so cute. So this is the paper I used here, and the back side is the green leaves. So that's one. You get 8 sheets of each pattern. And then we've got this pattern here, which is waves, and I love the colors. I'm not usually a bright pinks person, but I love the melon mambo and the fresh freesia. And although it doesn't say on the back that it coordinates with pretty in pink, I don't think. Nope, I don't see pretty in pink. I believe this is a pretty in pink, and that is so pretty with the green apple, green granny apple, or granny green. Oh, I kid you not. It's granny apple. Oh, it's granny apple green. That's why it didn't sound right. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long day, and I apologize. Words aren't working. So this is this here, and then the back side is this one right here. And then we're going to be using this one, which is sort of an ombre of the melon mambo, the fresh freesia, and the granny apple green, and a great wood grain on the back. And let's see, then we've got these fancy polka dots. It's a busy polka dot, so we're going to do smaller. And then this great stripe here. And we're going to do, I'm actually make 2 cards with each of these patterns, and I'm coordinating with one of these here that I just showed you. And then you have these great mushroom patterns. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to say that, like I said, my friend my friend Patty inspired this one because she did this cut, and I'll show you because I printed it off and enlarged it. And I will put a link in my blog to her page, her blog post with this information, but she had this drawn out for us so that we could copy it. So I did a screenshot, and so this is our paper, and this is the pattern we're going to do. And again, I'll put that on there. So let's go ahead and get started. When we start with our paper, of course, this paper is 6 by 6. And what we're going to do is I'm going to mix this one with the snails and the mushrooms and the ladybugs with the polka dot. And then we're going to have this bright stripe and this fun pattern on the back. So we're going to match those together. And then we're going to match the, part of me wants to say psychedelic, but it's the Melon Mambo, the ombre-ish pattern of colors. We're going to match it with these toadstools with the pretty and pink and melon mambo and pumpkin pie, fresh freesia, granny apple green, and the wood green. So let's go ahead. We're going to set those aside here. And I'm trying to remember, I think, yes. We're going to use the same card base and the same layering, because we're going to do this card here, this layout here, where I have the card base, and then I have the layer, and then I put my paper on top of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the same colors. We're going to use granny apple green and fresh freesia as a base. And then on one of the other cards, we're going to do fresh freesia as the card base and the granny apple green as the layer. So let's go ahead and do this one first, and this one we're going to use our green base, or the background, the mushrooms that have the green background, and our busy little polka dots. And let's go ahead and cut these down. And so what we're going to do, let me get my cutting blade here, my paper trimmer. We're going to line these up, and this, put them back, or side, or one on top of the other. Like I said, we're going to stack them, which is where the phrase or the technique name stack and shuffle comes from. We're going to stack them on top of each other, and then we're going to cut these. And what we need is we need it to be 3 5/8 across. So that would be 3, and then you'd go to 3 1/2, and then go over one more medium line, so 5/8. We're going to do that, go down. Oh, I used the scoring tool, and go down. Now don't get rid of these, because we can use these on the inside of our cards. And then the height, and you want to make sure if it's a directional paper that you pay close attention to this. And what I did do is I made sure that on my polka dots that I turned the stripes so they're going up and down. All right, now we're going to turn this to this side, and we're going to cut it at 4 7/8. So there's 4, and then 7/8 is the last medium line before the 5. So we're going to do that. We'll cut that there, and we'll set this aside. Now, the pieces are, oops, we want to leave those stacked together. The pieces are, the first piece is 1 5/8 wide. So we're going to go 1 inch, and 5/8 is to the 1 1/2, because that's 4/8, and then 1 medium line over, so that's 5/8. Yep, 5/8. So that's 1 5/8, and then that means this one should be 2 inches, and we'll just double check it. It is 2 inches exactly. All right, so now we're going to keep these stacked, and we're going to make this one 3 inches tall. So it's 1 5/8 wide and 3 inches tall. And what that will do is that will give us a 1 by 5 3/8 by 3, and a 1 5/8 by 1 7/8. And I'm going to set these over here so that we have them together, and they're going to stay stacked. And then this one is a 2, the top one is a 2 by 2, so we're going to go 2 inches tall. Make sure they're stacked evenly. 2 inches tall, go 2 by 2, and we're going to leave the 2 by 2 over here at the top, and then the other one at the bottom is 2 by 2 7/8. So it's 2 inches wide and 7/8 inches tall. So there's that. So let me show you what I do. Is I leave them like this, and then I play with them. And I like having my pattern either be the upper left corner or the bottom right corner. So I'm going to leave that pattern there, and I'm going to turn this one over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom one, the polka dot, and then we're going to take the bottom one and flip it over. So you see how that works out? We've got those two patterns. We've got that sort of like theirs. Oh, you guys can't see that. Sorry, folks. So what I did, let's do this again. I have my we'll put our paper back together again so you can see what it looks like. So this is how it turns out after we cut it. And what I'm going to do, and this is crooked, sorry folks. What I'm going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make our first card's going to have the pattern up in the upper left corner. So we're going to take the upper left corner, and then we're going to take this one, which is the pattern also, we're going to flip it on its, flip it over. So then you have these two, which are back to back, or not back to back, but it's side A and side B. And then we're going to take the bottom two pieces and bring them to the front, and then we're going to flip it like this. All right. And there is, and you know what I think I'm going to do? I don't know if I like this, the diagonal and pattern here with the stripes here. So I think I'm going to leave them polka dotted, and I'm going to make this the stripes down here. So that's card A. And then what we're just going to do is we're going to leave this like this and turn it over like so. And there is our two cards that we're going to put together. But actually, I'm only going to put one together. I'm going to use Fresh Freesia as my base. Or not my base, but my first layer. And Fresh Freesia it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we're going to go ahead, and I'll have all these measurements on my blog. And unfortunately, I normally have my blog and video ready for replay the day after, but I've got commitments tonight and a commitment the first half of tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 1 o'clock. So there's just no way on the little bit of sleep that I got last night that I'm going to be able to get my blog and everything out to you guys tomorrow without errors. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my blog tomorrow, and I'll have that ready for you guys on Sunday. So you will be able to find all the information here on my blog on Sunday. I'll remind you guys that and remind you what the blog address is anyway, the web address. All right, and we're just going to put these here on the Fresh Freesia, evenly spaced, and I like to put them down first before I glue, and I have all the pieces down. All right, so we're going to do, it's going to look sort of like that. Let's go ahead and start gluing them down. I'm going to glue this bottom corner piece down first. Oops. And we'll put a little glue. I want to make sure I don't put too much glue. All right, we're going to put that, and we're going to put it right about there. It looks like there's about maybe 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Let me measure that out for you. Yeah, you're going to make it so it's 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and 1/4 inch from the side. All right. And then you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to make sure this is 1/4 inch from the bottom and 1/4 inch from the side. We'll put this piece on. So that we have an even space. Oh, a little too much glue. All right. That's the nice thing about having the silicone mat is I can wipe it on there. Not a biggie. All right, now we have to do is measure this one and make sure we put it 1/4 inch from the top, because if we line it up with this piece, we know that it's already 1/4 inch from the side. That looks like it's about 1/4 inch from the top. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. And then, yep, 1/4 inch right there. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and line this up with this piece, and that will make it nice and even. So we'll do this, and then we'll put the card front on the card base, this layer on the card base. And then what we'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll go through and I'll cut my other paper with you again, so you can see how I do it with the other one too. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. And this, like I said, this fresh freesia is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which means it is just gives you 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch all the way around. A very thin frame, but I like it because it makes everything pop. I really like doing that. It's not always easy, but it is fun and it makes it look good. And I always use my Tombow glue for this part, even if I'm using my Stampin' Seal for other things, because it allows me a little bit of wiggle room to make sure it's nice and even. So there's card number 1. Now let's go ahead and cut the stuff for card number 2 with the other paper. So we're going to use this paper here. I'm going to put these off to the side so I can make cards with it later tonight or tomorrow. And let's go ahead and we'll go over this, cut it again, okay? So let's go over this one more time. I'll do it again. It's going to be 3 5/8 wide. So it's 3, and then 4/8 is 3 1/2 is the same as 3 4/8. And so we're going to go one more 1/8 over, so the next medium line, and cut it. And then we're going to turn it so that we can cut the bottom off. And we're going to make this 4 7/8, which is almost to the 5. It's that last medium line right there in front of the 5. That's 4 7/8 right there. We'll cut that. All right, set these aside. Now we'll turn it again. We're going to make this 1 5/8 wide. Again, I'll have all of these measurements on my blog on Sunday so that you can find them. And I'll also have a link to Patty's blog and video for this, because she's the one that introduced me to this she did it with the fruit paper from Celebration. Really cute. So anyway, we're going to go 1 5/8. So that's 1. 4 4/8 is 1 1/2, and we're going to go over one more. So 1 5/8. And right there. And then we're going to cut this down to 3 inches high. All right. I'm looking to see if I have any comments. And then this one is 2 inches by 2 inches. So we're going to go 2 inches high. There we go. 2 inches high. And then we have our 2 by 2 7/8. So we'll go ahead and put this aside because I don't need my trimmer anymore. And again, I'll show you what we do. Everything is stacked, and I haven't moved anything around. There's our paper. Matter of fact, if I was to pick this up, you could see side A for the other paper that we did it. It's all the same. And we're going to make sure these are stacked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these around a little bit by creating a second card. We're going to just move things over, flip these, move some and flip some. So we're going to move this one over here. We're going to take the same piece of paper and we're going to flip it in over. So we have the fresh freesia stripes. Then we're going to take this one. We're going to take the piece that's underneath it, bring it over here, and then we're going to take the bottom piece there and flip it over. So there we go. I like that. And then this one, we're going to keep like this. We're going to flip this over here, and then we're going to flip this over like this. Or if you want, we can do it this way, but actually I prefer to have the mushroom patterns going the same direction. So we'll go ahead and do this one. We're going to do this one this time. So let's go ahead and set this aside. And this one we're going to be doing on the granny green or granny apple green layer. Let me make sure I cut this one down. So it is supposed to be 4 1/8, and it is 4 1/8. Great. So that means I cut it down the other way too. And let's go ahead and glue. And remember, let me get my ruler again just to confirm my distance from my edges. You're going to go probably about 1/4 inch from each edge. And that will give you an even spacing in the middle. As long as your edges are the same all the way around, your spacing in the middle should be the same. So we'll do that. Let's go ahead and glue our first piece on. All right, just a little bit of glue. Don't need a lot. All right, that looks like it's about 1/4 inch. Just a little bit under. Let's see if we can move it a little bit. It might be a little too late. It's a little too late. As long as we make it even on both sides. There we go. We'll do that. So, all right. That looks like it's about 1/4 inch. There we go. Now we're going to put our mushroom pattern on, or other mushroom pattern, the cutesy mushroom pattern. There we go. And then we'll put our wood grain on. And we'll see how this turns out. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the sentiments. I'm going to use a punch that just came out in our catalog. It's in our January to April mini catalog. So let's go ahead and attach this to our fresh freesia. All right. All right. And there we go. We have a slight, there we go. That's even all the way around. All right, so we've got those. Both of our cards here. We've got, now we're going to show you, this punch is called To the Point, and it comes with the stamp set Hugs for Love, and which is more of a Valentine's, but you can use it for other things than Valentine's, because I used it for this card. It says Life is Better with You. Doesn't need to be a Valentine's card, does it? And then there's another stamp on it that says You Make Me Smile. So we're going to do You Make Me Smile and Life is Better with You. And this can be found in the mini catalog on page, let me see. It's a bundle, so it's going to be towards the back. Oh, there it is. The Hugs for Love bundle on page 54. So we're going to be using this punch, and we're going to be using one of the edges and stamps for the punch and some of the sentiments from this. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock. And let me just give you a tip here. When you take out these the stamps in their frames for the punches and their stamps, they're hollow on the inside. It's not a solid stamp straight across. It's got the inside's open and cut out is what I want to say. It's cut out. And it can move a lot because that's what photopolymers do. That's what it does. So I lay it down flat so that it can't be moved around and stretched. And then I just put my stamp block right, or my clear block right on top of it so I can get it. So we're going to go ahead and let's do the first one here. I think I want to do, let's see, we've got Granny Apple Green there. I don't know. Let's do Fresh Freesia. I don't know. Let's see. We'll do Fresh Freesia and see how we like it. I've already primed this one because I've used it a couple times, so I don't need to prime it. But when I go to use one of my other stamps, one of the sentiments that I haven't used yet, I'll show you how to prime it. Right now, I'm going to go up and down. So the hearts are going to be up on the down. And we'll go straight there. And then we're going to punch it out. So let's go ahead and we'll line it up. Let's see. Trying to line it up. I can't look at it directly down. There we go. Punch it out. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and sentiment. Let's see. What sentiment we're going to do? You Make Me Smile. And this one I need to prime. So I'm going to use, I have tried many different ways and other people swear by some of the other ways. But I found that they didn't work for me, like using an eraser on it, a photopolymer eraser on it, not photopolymer, the white eraser. I've heard rubbing it on your jeans. I've heard stamping it several times. Nothing's ever worked for me. The one thing that did work is I stamp for the first time before I stamp it on colored ink, I stamp it on my Versamark, and that sort of primes it up. And then we're going to go ahead and I think for this one, let's go with Melon Mambo. That makes me smile. You Make Me Smile. Melon Mambo. And we're going to stamp. There we go. We're going to stamp it right in the middle. Whoop, and there we go. We have our sentiment. We're going to put it right in the middle. All right, and let's go ahead and do our stamp for the other one. I'm going to get it cleaned up because we're not going to use Fresh Freesia again. We're going to use something else. So let me go ahead and clean up this the point. What is it called? A point to the point label, punch, and the stamp. And I think what we're going to do, I think on this one, I'm going to, actually, you know what? Let's look at this. I think I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia one with the Granny Apple Green. So I think this one we're going to do Granny Apple Green, and we're going to, or should we do, you know what? Let's try this. We're going to try a couple different colors. I've got plenty of paper here. Let's do Pumpkin Pie. Let's see how Pumpkin Pie looks. And if not, we can always go with Granny Apple Green. I'm all for experimenting when it comes to this kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and punch this out. I'm liking the Pumpkin Pie so far. It's sort of, it's funny because usually Pumpkin Pie is only used in the fall and during Halloween time, but I really like that they've included it on this so you can do it. Yeah, I like that. Well, let's do Granny Apple Green just to test it out, and we can go from there. So we got another piece of paper, and I'm going to do, actually, I can do it on this one. I won't have to waste that one. I can do it right in between here. So let me go ahead and pull out my Granny Apple Green. We'll see which one we like here. I hope everybody's having a great weekend or a week whenever you're watching this, the replay. Mine's going to be pretty busy, but I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow's a half day of stamping with some friends of mine, and tonight is an evening of bunko with some friends of mine, and so it's more of a social evening and weekend for me, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's see. There's our Granny Apple Green. So let's figure out which one we like better. Our apple, or not really, our Pumpkin Pie or Granny Apple Green. You know what? I'm thinking, ooh, I like that. We can almost go that direction. I think I'm going to go that direction, and I like the Pumpkin Pie because you don't want green on green here. So I think the pumpkin pie will pop a little bit. So let's go with that direction. And then that means that we're going to put our sentiment in Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do the Life is Better with You. So we'll tap that a little bit. And we'll make sure this is straight. Life is better with you. There we go. I like the green and the pumpkin together. And then we're going to put that right there. And let's go ahead and, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and attach them with our foam adhesive sheets. You know me and foam adhesive. Ever since Patty introduced them to me, I love my foam adhesive sheets. And we just need one bigger one here for the center. All right. And we're going to put that right there. That's in this. Is that in the center? That looks centered. Yep, that looks centered. And we're going to go ahead and do this one. And there we go. So now we want to embellish it. And we've got a couple of choices here of embellishments. We can use our butterflies, brass butterflies. We have this, which is Sunny Day Iridescent Dots, and I believe that's in our new mini catalog. Let me check. I get confused. We've got so much new product coming out in January this month that I can't remember if this is an online exclusive or if it is from the catalog, but I believe it's the catalog. I think it goes with the Ocean's Friends suite, which we're going to look at in just a minute. Let me pull this up and I can show it to you. Yes, there they are. They come with the suite called Friends of the Ocean. They're right here. Isn't this a cute suite with the lobsters and the crabs? And it says, hello, friend. Love you and thank you so much. So many things. Great fun set. And these are dies that come with it and some fun bright colors. But you know what? You could always use those with other colors that aren't so bright if you want. But anyway, so we have those. And then I don't think pink petal, bubble bath, not fresh. Oh, the fresh freesia in here could be a possibility, but I don't think we're going to use the rainbow dots. I think I'm going to go with the Sunny Day. And I think I'm going to go with the pumpkin pie on this one. Where's my, there it is. Might take a pick tool. I think I'm going to use pumpkin pie on this one because I've got the pumpkin pie down here and I've got a lot of purple and pink, but I don't have any of the orange. So I'm going to put pumpkin pie right there and right there. And I might even see, let's throw a bigger one right there. All right, so there's that. And let's see, let's do, oh, you know what, oh, the Melon Mambo on this one look really pretty with this. So let's go ahead and do Melon Mambo on this one. So we've got Melon Mambo, bright. There we go. I think I'm just going to put it there, just those two, rather than a third one. Usually I do threes, but occasionally I like to do twos. But there we go. Let's go ahead and finish off the inside because you know me, I don't like leaving the inside blank if I don't have to. And so I have my interior pieces, which are 4 by 5 1/4, 4 inches wide by 5 1/4. And remember I said save those extra pieces when we cut them. We're going to create, so I do need my paper trimmer. I lied earlier, I do need my paper trimmer. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the piece, and it's gonna be a 1/2 inch wide. So 1/2 inch by 6 inches. And we're gonna use that on the inside. You know what, that cut off the, you know what would really cool. Nope. All right, let's go a little bit, we're gonna go, let's see. I don't want to cut off too much. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to have more mushrooms in our picture for our side. There we go. I like that one. And then we're going to go with the green. And you know what? We may not get any mushrooms, but we'll get those cute flowers in it, I think. Yeah, it's got the cute flowers in there. So let's go ahead and attach those and put our interiors into our cards. Sorry, folks. Like I said, it's been a long day. It's been a long week. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and attach. Like you said, I've done, I always tend to make mine a little bit longer so that I can cut it off. And that way I know it's the exact same length, because my eyeball, when I eyeball it, even on this, on the paper trimmer, sometimes my eyeballs are a little off, and then I end up having extra white that you can see, and I don't like that. That would drive me up the wall. So I do it this way. Doesn't hurt to waste a little bit. You're not wasting this. That's just a little bit. Let's do it on this one. All right. Put our paper up. So we'll put our flowers and greenery on there. And I put it right up to the edge, and I tap my fingers against the edges, and I sort of rub my finger along just to make sure it's not sticking over, and to push it and have it butt up against my fingers in case it is too far over this way. And now we'll go ahead and cut these little pieces off. Oh, I grabbed the wrong scissors. I should have grabbed my other scissors that I have for using with adhesives. All right, so let's go ahead and put these into our card, and then we'll be finished with our cards. And really, when you do this, you get 2 cards out of each set. So remember, when I cut this, I had 2 pieces of this, 2 pieces of this, 2 pieces this size, and 2 pieces this size. And so I was able to mix and match. And I was able to come up, I would be able to make 2 identical cards here and 2 identical cards here, is basically what I'm trying to say, the long way around. Sometimes I always say things a little bit more difficult. I make it more difficult than it needs to be in terms of instructions. So, all right, there we go. And there are our fun stack and shuffle cards. Inspired by Patty Bennett with this layout, and with our Toadstool Gardens designer series paper from our celebration catalog, which means you can earn this paper that I've used today if you purchased $60 in product before taxes and shipping. This is one of the items that between now and February 28th you can earn for free. And so it's just a great paper. I love it. So anyway, there was that. Let me find, I usually have it around here somewhere, my little thing that shows you where you can find information on this on my blog at www.stampinwithjenn.com. Oh, there it is. Here you go. This is my blog. www.stampinwith2ns.com. And I will have this again. I normally have it on Saturday mornings, but I won't be able to get it out until Sunday now because of everything that I've got going on tonight and tomorrow. So look for this on Sunday. I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks and fun, creative ways to use this paper. And this layout would work with any paper. Like I said, Patty did it with the fruits paper out of the celebration catalog. You could use it with any of our papers. You know, I might try it with Serene Love or Wildly Flowering, or even the new mixed media florals designer series paper, all the pattern papers. So anyway, it's like, just notice it's not in. I think I have my camera a little bit lower than I normally do. So Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.